Okay, so I have a really important video coming at you today. I'm going to be talking about how women use strategic silence to get the power or the leverage in the relationship. A lot of times you might notice that a woman does this to you in the initial stages when you're first dating, okay, or when you two first start seeing each other. And a lot of times she does this really to get a good read on your initial interest level. But after you've been seeing her for quite some time, what you might even notice is that she does this in order to potentially get you to commit to a long-term relationship. And what she really wants to do is she really wants to have you as her boyfriend. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you all of the things that happen. I'm also going to be showing you what to do and what not to do. And throughout this next year, I really want my content to be even better than it ever has been, because the older I get, the more mature I get. The more mature I get, hopefully the more wisdom I can share with you. So let's dive in. Okay, so today we have a lot to cover and a lot to talk about how women use strategic silence in order to gain the leverage in the relationship. Now, this is what I would call female nature. This is just something you're going to have to accept, and this is something that will most likely happen to you no matter who you're dating, especially in the beginning when you two first meet. So with that said, okay, this is what I want you to know first and foremost, okay? Women will constantly test your interest level and your inner confidence by seeing how you react, okay, or by seeing how reactive you get if there's a period of silence. If there's a period of silence, majority of men will reveal their interest level, get overreactive, over pursue, call a lot of times, text a lot of times, or think that something is wrong. A lot of times that guy will think that she's mad at him or she's disappointed at something. A lot of times this is not true. Okay, so this is typically done often during the initial phase of dating, and there's a couple reasons for this. First and foremost, okay, she's filtering for the highest value man. Okay, the man who has the most value or the highest dating value will typically demonstrate abundance. So how does he demonstrate abundance? Simply by either not caring or just letting time go by and waiting for her to re-pursue, if that makes sense. Or number two, here's what also could happen. If she really likes you specifically, when I say you specifically, I mean just you. Out of all the other guys that she could have, for some reason she really likes you, okay? She's now covertly testing your interest level. So she wants to say, hey, I really like this guy. How much does he like me? I wonder if he'll send me a text. I wonder if he'll call me at the end of the night right before bed. Now, this is really important to understand because this is what you'll realize. Okay, silence oftentimes can cause feelings that cause fear of loss. You might sit there and think, is she leaving me? Did she find somebody else? Is she done talking to me? Majority of men, when this happens, okay, through text message, okay, or her not returning your calls, here's what will happen. Majority of men will emasculate themselves by over pursuing to the point where she loses all respect for you. He will over pursue so much that she'll lose all respect. Okay, so the key here, listen closely, the key, okay, is to sit back and do absolutely nothing. You sit back and do absolutely nothing because this is what you have to realize, okay? The woman that you really want to date, okay, she will communicate with you if she feels like it. Which means if you just extend your patience, if you extend the duration of time you're willing to just sit there and relax, what you'll notice is that through time, her emotions oftentimes work in your favor. Now, the next thing that you need to know, okay, is that women often will do this as well to gain leverage in the relationship, to get a guy to commit to a long-term relationship. So she's dating him, okay, and she's attempting to gain leverage to get him to commit to a long-term relationship so she has the emotional security to know that he is only with her, okay, or all of his time, his attention, his resources, his energy that he could be putting towards somebody else, she wants to make sure that all of that emotional investment is going towards her. So what will she do? She'll pull back. Okay, she'll use strategic silence to see what he does or to get him to have feelings that the relationship might be over so that way he re-pursues or he pursues her more. Okay, so a very good example would be something like this. Let's say she's been talking to a guy for like 8 to 10 weeks, okay? And let's say she sees him 1 to 2 days out of the week. So every week for, let's say, 8 to 10 weeks, she sees him 1 or 2 days out of the week, okay? If she feels like he may be seeing others, okay, she starts to get nervous that she's wasting her time. So let's read this again and let's really just think about this step by step. She feels like he may be seeing others, so she's nervous that she might be wasting her time. Now, this is the important thing you have to remember. Maybe he is seeing others, but maybe he isn't. But it doesn't matter because to her, it's a feeling. If she feels that way, she might attempt to do this. It's a feeling, okay? So maybe he is seeing others, maybe he isn't. Maybe he's just working, maybe he's just out with his friends, maybe he is enjoying his hobbies, maybe he's at the gym, maybe he went fishing, okay? Doesn't matter. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but to her, it's a feeling. So now, okay, now, she just may look at or read his text message and do nothing and let it sit. She's going to go, hey, I'm just going to look at this text message that he sent me, or I'm just going to look at this phone call and not return it. And let's just let 18 to 24 hours go by just to see what he does, okay? Just to see what he does. Is he going to over pursue me? Is he going to call a lot? Is he going to text a lot? Is he going to say, hey, what's wrong? Is he going to say, are you okay? Is he going to say all of these things or any of these things? This is what she wants to know. She wants to know, hey, what is your internal interest level? What is your internal feelings towards me? Do you like me? Do you love me? Do you want to be with me? This is what she wants to know. Okay, so this is what you need to know as a man. Over pursuing is typically a turnoff. If you are going to be over pursuing, she will typically lose interest. And I'll explain why in just a second. What you need to do and what you need to get good at. And this takes age, this takes maturity, this takes wisdom. There's an amazing word called patience, okay? Over pursuing is a turnoff, and what you need to understand is you just pass the interest test by being patient. You pass the interest test by being patient. If you learn patience, you'll notice that majority of women will come back. Majority of women that you talk to will give you that phone call. They'll give you that text message, especially if they find you attractive, especially if she views you as her number one option. This is what she's looking for. She's looking to see that you have the inner strength, the inner confidence, the inner core to be patient, okay? Because that demonstrates some level of either stoicism or it demonstrates some level that you're secure with yourself day to day and you're okay letting time go by and you don't necessarily need her, okay? You're happy to have her in that relationship with you, but you don't need her. You don't need the communication. As soon as you as a man need the communication, she might start to think that you're now going emotionally weak, okay? So when a woman pulls back, never, ever, ever take it personally. You cannot take it personally, okay? This is female nature at the core. At the core, she always wants to see what is your interest level at and how do you feel about her and what is your strength level emotionally and all of these things, okay? So testing the internal strength and resiliency of the man is what she's doing, okay? So this is what you need to know, okay? If she really, really likes you, okay, and you're her number one option, and you hold firm by not reaching out and letting her emotions work in your favor, okay? She'll come around when she's ready, okay? And she'll start to text you or she'll start to call you. She will start to come around and she'll text you and she'll call you when she's ready. Because hour for hour that goes by, you are still demonstrating that you are her number one option. Now, this is also the amazing thing about this, okay? Especially if you're in the initial stages of dating. Let's say you two are first getting to know each other, okay? If you're not her number one option, you may actually become her number one option by not over pursuing when that other guy did. Okay, so I'll say that one more time. If you are not her number one option, okay, you might actually become her number one option by not over pursuing when that other guy did. And this is how she starts to see your value in a different way. Okay, so hypergamy is always filtering for the best. She wants the best option that she can get. Because of that, you want to do everything that you possibly can to demonstrate your value the best way possible. Okay, and that starts with you leveraging patience to demonstrate your own internal strength. Okay, The more mature and older that a man gets, he is typically steady in his behavior day to day, no matter what. Okay? When I look at my grandpa, for example, he would always have the same routine every day. Doesn't matter what's going on, he wakes up and he does all of his tasks and he does all of his things for the day. He's steady in his behavior. He's steady because he knows who he is, he knows what he likes, he knows what he doesn't like, and he knows himself. Okay? So this is a really good mindset to have, okay? A good mindset to have is that the more mature and older that a man gets, he's typically steady in his behavior. So what goes along with that mindset would be this: not initiating a lot of contact, but you're always there if she needs you. Okay? Men who oftentimes lack the maturity to have emotional resiliency or strength in the relationship are constantly initiating a lot of contact because that man is subconsciously seeking emotional reassurance that she still likes him. So by you not initiating a lot of contact, it shows that you're steady in your behavior, but guess what? You're always there if she needs you. When she needs you, she gets that reply. When she needs you, you're there for that date or whatever. But no matter what her behavior is, it doesn't change your day-to-day behavior because you're steady with what you're doing. Let me give you an example. This is you, okay? This is you waking up at the start of the day, and this is you going to bed at the end of the day. You wake up, you get your workout in, you get your breakfast in, you get your lunch in, you're working, okay? Maybe you get some work done, you have your goals, okay? And then everything that happens right before the end of the night, right? You make sure that this is done and that's done and the lawn is mowed and all this stuff, right? You have your day planned and you're steady with your behavior. You wake up and you have a plan for the day and you are accomplishing your goals and what you want to get done for that day. You're steady with your behavior. Okay, this is the beginning of the day, this is the end of the day. Now, this is what she might throw your way. She might wake up and say, let's give him a couple good morning text messages right away so that way, he knows that I'm thinking about him. Now let's let 6 hours go by and not return the text message. Now let's be steady with the behavior and return the phone call and, talk about future plans for that weekend because she wants to make you feel like she really wants to see you. Now she might say, hey, what happens if I just don't talk for another 8 hours or maybe let's say even 18 hours? Now let's call him and say how much all of a sudden maybe she misses you. Okay, it's up and down, it's up and down. The point that I'm trying to make is when you're steady in your behavior, no matter what she starts to throw your way emotionally, okay, no matter how much she's there to give you reassurance or communication, you have that mindset where you're patient and it doesn't matter because you are steady with your behavior. You know what you're doing, you know where you're going in life, you have your path, you have your purpose, and you're staying that path and purpose no matter what. No matter how her communication pattern is towards you, you attempt at your very best to have the stoicism and emotional resiliency to not let that affect your day-to-day frame, okay, and mindset as you're tackling your own goals. Very important to understand this. So you stay steady on your purpose daily, no matter what the circumstance is. This is the point that I'm trying to make. No matter what she throws your way. I'm going to talk to him a lot. Now I'm not going to talk to him at all. Now I'm going to talk to him a lot and call him a lot and talk about how much I miss him. Now I'm just going to not reply for 18 hours. Now I'll be steady for a couple days back and forth with text message communication. Now I'm just going to be distant again all of a sudden randomly. If you notice this, what a man does, okay, who lacks the emotional resiliency and maturity is he gets reactive as well. He starts to react to all of the little interest tests back and forth that she might do. When you get older, or typically as a man gets older, as he increases his emotional maturity, he understands the strength in being steady with your day-to-day behavior and knowing yourself and knowing what you're doing each day and knowing where you're going in life. Very, very important to understand this. So you stay steady on your purpose daily, no matter what the circumstance is. So this is what you're going to notice, okay? As a man, if you live your life through order and purpose, okay, you are typically rewarded. You're typically rewarded because what starts to happen is you develop the emotional strength to have perseverance and keep going with your day-to-day tasks, no matter what life starts to throw your way. This is very important to understand. So When women use strategic silence to get you to pursue, this will also test a man's maturity level, okay, to see how he reacts towards her frame or towards her attitude. So this is what majority of modern men will do. Majority of modern men will argue, or all of a sudden that guy might call her a lot or text her a lot, or all of a sudden try to ask her why she's silent or why she's distant. He might get fearful, okay, or he might even just get totally reactive and try to call a bunch of times or text message a bunch of times or say, what's wrong? Are you mad at me? What's going on? Are you disappointed that I did something? Are you disappointed that, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point that I'm trying to make is majority of modern men will get very reactive and most likely over pursue. And now instantly it shows that you are in scarcity, and it shows how much you need her. So a mature man is a patient man. A mature man is a patient man, and you will let time go by and just let that test, if you would like to call it that interest test, that period of silence, you let that slowly start to just go away. And when you do this, it's very amazing. What I advise you to do at this point in the video is take this even a step further. I created an entire community where I'm helping men learn, understand, and master the language of women. And what I did was I created an exact step-by-step process that you can use, that you can copy paste into your dating life. I made this so that way you can attract the women that you want to attract into your dating life. And then when you really want to have that amazing relationship, I show you processes that you can actually use, okay, to make sure that you can retain the interest level in that relationship, so that way she doesn't desire to pull away or leave you heartbroken. That is why I built this. Be sure to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Join us inside that community right now after today's video is over, and we'll see you in the next one.